Okay.
You see what it is.
Wow. This how you're gonna.
That's how I'm coming in the game today, homie.
This how y'all gonna start the show.
Hey, Rob, I need to go get my Tom Brady jersey.
Come on, man. I don't know why.
It's how y'all gonna.
They play. Oh, that's right. Them boys. They playing pretty soon. When they play? They play Sunday night or?
When do we play again? We play Sunday. Yeah, we play Sunday night.
Okay.
Put the Raiders up real quick.
Right, that's right. Y'all gonna be in Vegas. I just got back home, man. So that's
no, they just whooped. They just whooped.
Yeah, we
Vegas.
just whooped Vegas. 45-20.
Oh, that's right, in Vegas.
Yeah.
Who's the next game, Lucius? Who's the next Tampa Bay? Who y'all got?
I don't even know at this point. I'm just happy we winning. Goddamn it!
I got the Seahawks in Seattle. I think
we got New Orleans this week.
Ooh.
No, we got New Orleans this week. That's Chicago. Yeah.
I got Seattle, so I know it ain't them.
Hold on. I'll check real quick. Hold on.
How do you feel like y'all gonna do in Seattle there?
We got the Giants.
Hilarious.
Oh, they're gonna win.
Yeah.
We got the Giants on Monday night.
Yeah, you got a W coming. I feel we're gonna do good, man, against them Hawks, homie.
Yeah, they look bad Monday night.
So AB will be available. What is it? Week 9? He signed with Tampa Bay.
That's an insurance policy, man.
To
True,
what?
man.
No. Hell no. He immediately comes in and becomes a deep threat. Okay?
We already got them though.
Yeah, we don't know yet right off the bat. We don't know.
We already got them.
And who, Mike? Are you talking about Michael Evans who can't stay healthy? Or are you talking about Godwin?
We got a little fast Scotty Miller. You didn't see the little 33-yard pass he burnt.
So you're gonna compare Scotty Miller to AB? Like you're gonna do that?
Right.
Okay.
Mike Evans is the truth, regardless he healthy or not. Obviously, he gets enough attention.
Right.
And Chris Godwin is pretty damn good. I don't know if you've been watching the same football team I've been watching. Gronk is a red zone threat. Does y'all keep naming people?
Like on paper.
We got the two best middle linebackers in the game. What's happening?
On paper, y'all have a really good team.
No, in reality, we have a really good team.
Right.
Dude, don't nobody know what AB's gonna be. Don't nobody know what the hell AB.
I didn't say nothing about AB. He ain't played the game yet.
Okay, but if Chicago can line up and beat y'all ass,
Chris Godwin was hurt. Mike
I don't want
to.
Excuses.
OJ Howard had just got hurt.
Excuses.
No, that's just real shit, Cal.
It's okay. All right. How you doing now?
Y'all call us on a Thursday night.
Ty Davis in the building.
What's happening?
What's up, Sister Ty?
So, before we get into this, I have to ask if everyone in here is up to date or up to speed or has ever tuned in to the Mike Tyson podcast.
Yeah. No. Hot Box with Mike Tyson?
Yeah.
No, I ain't even heard about it. It's the first time I heard about it.
It's really good.
I recently saw a clip.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
Right.
Nah, I don't want to listen to him talk. I did see a clip,
it's
though.
all about the game. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the game.
Nah, he be high, so he just be dropping gems, man.
Yeah.
I saw the clip that he did with what's his name, Lil Boosie. That was interesting.
Boosie.
Yeah, Boosie was like super quiet and like just interested. He drops gems on the show, man.
Because he was triggered and he was getting truth from a man that he was intimidated by. And usually he's surrounded by a bunch of niggas that won't tell him the truth.
Men.
Right, a bunch of yes men.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When Mike Tyson smoke weed, does his voice get deeper?
No.
Or does it get more high-pitched?
Like I seen him like he was on a Joe Rogan podcast getting ready for the fight. And like 6 months ago he was on there as well. And like that was not the same dude. He was like in training mode. So it was like old Mike again.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
that would be a trip to see. That would be a trip to see, man.
Like when he's chilling and he's calm, he drops gems. But when he's in fight mode, he's back to I'm killing your kids, killing your wife type shit.
Right.
Listen,
I'm gonna eat your children. That's what he told Lennox Lewis. He said, I'm gonna eat your children. Lennox Lewis said, I don't have any kids.
Believe it or not, the podcast is really, really good. It's really, really dope. It's Mike Tyson basically with special guests. He's on there smoking weed. basically, Mike Tyson has done, he's done pretty well for himself as a business standpoint, as far as his podcast and as far as his weed goes or whatever. Right. But these interviews, he's like asking like tough ass questions that people want to know to like celebrities. So basically, there was a point where he asked Lil Boosie, he's like, yo, when the shit came out with D Wade and all that shit, like, why did you, you know, say what you said? And then Lil Boosie was like, well, you know, sometimes I need to shut the fuck up, but I don't. And then Mike Tyson was like, well, hell, why don't you? And then everybody looked at that like a slide, like, damn, you know, but really, what are you going to do? Like, what are you going to do? Like, I mean.
But what I'm interested in, what was Boosie's response to that?
Right, that's what I just about to say.
He was just like, I apologize. And, you know, he was like really listening. Like,
Mike,
he was like reading
exactly.
his rights.
Because
Mike
you know Mike Tyson could kick his ass.
Yeah.
Mike was like, Mike asked him flat out, like, Mike asked him flat out, like, are you having gay? Those right? Are you gay? And is that why you have so many of those episodes where you're bashing, you know? And he was like, no, I'm straight as an arrow. And then everybody, of course, took to Twitter and was like, damn, Boosie, how you gonna, you know? But then again, I mean,
130 pounds. Mike Tyson, exactly. 250 pounds. And can fight.
But my thing is, like, I would respect you more if you would be like, I said what I said, and that's what it is. But a lot of times, people go around unchecked, and they don't get challenged on what it is that they say. I don't fuck with Boosie because he basically admitted to the statutory rape and molestation of his children and nephews. Oh, y'all missed that? Oh, in addition to him talking about Gabrielle Union and
D Wade.
D Wade's child.
Right.
He also mentioned that when his kid, you know, when his sons were younger and his nephews or whatever, they brought like a grown woman in there to suck them off and do all kinds of stuff. And believe it or not, that is not uncommon that men will do that to try to make sure their sons or whatever aren't gay. Bruh, you just facilitated an environment where your child and the children in your care were physically and sexually abused. Right. And you say that that's a manly thing to do to make sure that your male children don't grow up to be gay. First of all, are we not going to talk about how the young lady that involved, she's a sexual predator, but because it's a woman doing it to a man, that's minimized and thrown away. Just like that's why men don't like to be vulnerable and speak about the things that happen to them because of the way society looks at it. So I don't fuck with him because of that. I also didn't care for his remarks about the child. Like, how people want to raise their kids, that's their business, as long as they're not hurting them. You know what I mean? The child appears to be loved. The child appears to be understood. Do I agree with it? Would I partake in those practices? No. But there are things that I do in the way that I raise my children that people may not, you know, think is acceptable. And that's fine. But you got on a podcast with Mike Tyson, you talk cold cash shit on the Instagram. And then when you were challenged by someone that you were inferior to, or you felt inferior to, you backed off all of that stuff that you said. Nah, keep that same energy that you had. What you was saying.
Hey, Ty, you gotta watch it though. It was pretty insightful. Like, just all the shit. Because when he gets on the podcast,
I mean, I saw a large portion of it.
Yeah, it's like 45 minutes. But I mean, like, he's had Waka Flocka on there, and he's had but he has a co-host too. His co-host is a UFC fighter, ex-NFL player.
So he being interviewed by two dudes that are professionally trained to fuck him up.
Professionally trained to whoop his ass.
I've done that though. I mean, see, and here's the thing.
You've been doing what?
Like, I'll speak on my parenting skills versus someone else's parenting skills. And it's not necessarily, I don't say it out of, I think I'm better than you. When people ask me a question, I answer that question how I would handle that particular situation as a parent. So when the whole COVID thing, when people were sending their kids back to school, and the question was brought to me like, hey, what do you think about sending? I was like, hell no, I'm not sending my kids to school to potentially end up with COVID. Like, no, I think that's playing a very dangerous game with your child. Now, that's not a slight at anyone that decides to send their kid to school. That's just, I'm just saying,
your preference
for me, right? And I think where Little Boosie kind of puts his foot in his mouth, he talks on that subject as Dwayne Wade needs his ass whooped, and you don't do that to a child, and blah, blah, blah. Hey, what he should have said is, I would never do no shit like that to my child.
To mine. Right.
So,
or because from what Ty just said, man, that shit that he did by bringing that lady in there, you know what I'm saying, having his sons or whatever sucked off or whatever the hell. Nigga, I got 4 boys. I ain't never thought about doing no dumb shit like that to see if my sons grow up gay or whatever. Man, hey, they ain't growing up gay. I already know that. You know what I'm saying? And if they do, that's on them. I mean, hell, they gonna still be my son. Shit. I mean, what the fuck? That's just crazy. You don't do no shit like that.
But how do you, like, the whole notion of raising your child to be gay and all of that? It's like it's ridiculous to me. Like I have a LGBTQIA plus minus equal sign child. My daughter is bisexual. And when I found out on Facebook, and I was like, oh, okay. And then it was just that. It didn't change how I loved her. It didn't change how I supported her. It didn't change how I nurtured her. And I just was like, whatever. And I had, family and friends like, oh my God, did you see what she said? I was like, listen, what she does in her bedroom, it's 100% not my business.
Her business.
She's a grown woman. Because what I do in my bedroom, I don't want nobody talking to me and asking me questions. I'm into some shit, and some of the shit that I'm into, people might not be into that, but that's what I'm into.
Shoot me a DM right quick.
You know what I'm saying?
Shoot me a DM right quick.
Like it you know what I'm saying? It didn't change how I loved my daughter. But my daughter has a girlfriend and a boyfriend. They live together, all of them. They live together in one big happy polyamorous family. And guess what? My thing is, are you happy? Do they love you? Are they treating you right?
Okay, so
then all right, cool.
Here's a question, because I believe what Lil Boosie said was 10 times worse than what any other person in the limelight could have ever said. Like, if Kevin Hart would have said some shit like that, like, his career would have been, if Kevin Hart would have said some shit like that, his career would have been over. Okay?
But he did, and they tried to cancel it.
He said some shit like, and he was just talking about his situation.
Right.
It was
he joked about it on the stand.
It was an old joke of his that he threw away because
it wasn't a Twitter though. It was it was a joke where he was like he was at a barbecue and his
some old shit of his. He was probably trying to work out.
Yeah. No, it was on the what was that? Big Grown Man?
I think it was Grown Little Man.
Grown Little Man.
Little Man.
Hey, that's gay joke. Are we talking about?
He said he knocked the kid over.
Yeah, but think about how things have changed. Yeah. If you go back and look at Raw and you go back and look at Delirious, that set
right.
could not be.
Delirious. That is fucking masterful.
The first 7
to
minutes.
This day, it's masterful. Like, I don't.
The first 7 minutes, bro.
But even then, they had. Eddie Murphy had to come out and apologize, or he felt compelled to come out and apologize about something that he said. And this whole notion of cancel culture, I think, is ridiculous. If you don't fuck with somebody, then you just don't fuck with them. We've seen countless celebrities get canceled, and then they're not canceled because 10 other celebrities have been canceled since them, and you forgot what you canceled them for. Like, I be forgetting that we've canceled niggas. I be like, oh shit, we not fucking with them. I forgot. You know what I mean? Oh, we not fucking with this business. I forgot. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, And then the thing about us canceling people, like, how can I cancel something I don't subscribe to? Like when what's her name? Azalea Banks. She's supposed to be a music artist and she says and does all kinds of wild stuff. And I can't tell you one thing that she said in the song. I don't know any Azalea Banks songs. I just know that she's attached to messiness and always being in the tabloids and arguing and going back and forth with people. And niggas like, oh, we canceling her. And I'm like, I can't cancel this young lady because I didn't fuck with her anyway. Like, just don't fuck with what you don't fuck with. Like, there are things that I've said 10 years ago, like, and Facebook will remind you shit that you said. And I'll go and look and I'll be like, wow, that's crazy. I said that. Let me delete this shit. You know what I mean? Because it shows up in my memories. I'm like, wow, I said that. People have the right to evolve. People have the right to change. I'm sure that hopefully in 10 years time, or maybe even tomorrow, Boosie will be like, damn, that was wild that I said that.
No, he said that. He said that on there. He said, I didn't mean to. He apologized to D-Wade.
Right off the back. Okay.
Isn't that what makes us unique, though? Isn't that what makes a person unique, is having your own opinion about how you feel?
Yeah, but everybody ain't so open-minded. Like with Ty, she's open-minded, so she understands. But if you go in some pockets in this country, some people ain't even willing to even open that door.
They don't want to hear that shit.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing that pisses me off, because the same people that are so quick to cancel people because they said a certain things is the same people that are out here trying to keep America great. Like, which is it? Like, you can't, like, how are you closed-minded to race relationships but open-minded to other things? That's the shit. Like, it's trendy. You know what I'm saying? Because that's really how shit goes. If it's trending, if LGBTQ is trending, and, you know, yeah, we're going to attack anyone that speaks out against that. But you can't necessarily attack somebody for speaking out against something that they don't agree with. Like, if I don't agree with a certain thing, that's my opinion, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And if that's how I choose to raise my family, then that's on me. But you then can't attack, you know, certain characters. You can't attack certain people. Oh, we're going to cancel his ass because he said, come on, man. That's not how it's not how the shit's supposed to be.
Right.
But you can either agree or disagree or something, but
that's the bottom line right there, Lucius. That's the bottom line. Shit, you just got to agree to disagree for the most part, and go about your way.
Sometimes when you open your mouth with an opinion, that leaves the door open for other people to open their mouth with their opinion, and then if you can't handle it, then you kind of left up there trying to defend the shit, and it's just like, oh, just sometimes don't say nothing. I'm not even gonna speak on it, bro. That ain't none of my business.
Right. The best thing to say sometimes is nothing at all.
Exactly.
Facts.
So I'm gonna sit here for the rest of this show and just say shit.
No, you can definitely speak on it. I went and voted yesterday, so I'm pretty ecstatic about that.
Doing that first thing in the morning.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, you know, here's a cool story. I don't know if y'all saw, but dude, there were so many like young people in the line to vote, which is like extremely dope. But man, sometimes like you ever feel like the old person around like a lot of young people, and you be like, man,
no, never.
Are you serious? Like
never. Hell no, fuck that.
Dude,
no.
Kids are so outspoken, man. Like, this shit don't make no sense, bro. These kids do that, like, they are outspoken, man.
I find myself acting like, you know, the dudes. Have you seen these commercials where the guy is like teaching these people how to not act like their parents because they just bought a home or whatever?
Yeah.
I find myself sometimes acting like that guy, like one of those guys that's acting like their parent. Like, I mean, hey, man, you might not want to sit up there. You might want to. Man, you might not want to say that. I'm like, I don't even know these little fuckers. I should just go and shut up.
Ralph, somebody in the line. We all standing there. We cold as shit. We trying to keep our distance. Everybody's masked up. Somebody in the line either stepped in some shit or it was just one of them days, man. And the dude, it was a young couple behind me. They was probably like 18, I don't know, 18, 19 maybe.
Youngsters.
Dude was losing. He was flipping out. His girl was like, yo, calm down. He can hear you. He was like, I don't give a shit. Like, come on, man. You smelled that shit before you left. I'm sitting there so uneasy, like trying to have like the uneasy old person, like discomfort look. But it was hilarious, man. Goddamn, like the funniest 40 minutes I've ever just spent in a goddamn line.
So what you saying? Somebody smelled like shit in the line?
Yes.
And the young boy was telling them about it. Did you know who it was that smelled like shit? Did you see that person?
Okay, so we got.
He was just saying somebody smelled like shit.
And then you fess up to it right now.
Smell like shit.
Dude, okay. I'm
Yo,
so the way the line was, it's like people are trying to keep like distant, but it's like we really couldn't because of how the building, I guess, is set up. So it's just like, I don't know, it's probably like 2 feet, maybe. I'm in line. There's people behind me. Behind them is like a young couple. They standing side by side or whatever. But yeah, man, somebody in the line was like living extra foul. And like the dude, I think we know who the hell it was, but I don't think, I think dude was homeless. He was just trying to vote, like, which is weird.
Wow.
Yeah, it was I think it was. But he was out. He was voting though. But his
registered shit. He said, "Fuck it, I'm homeless, but I'm gonna register, goddammit, and I'm voting."
But it
was today. I didn't have my best clothes on.
It was so funny just to see like how these kids, they're so out. They don't give a shit, man. Kids don't
until somebody tee off on them and punch them in the fucking
until somebody lump one of them little fuckers up. Then it's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, sir." You know what I'm saying?
He smell like shit because he got beat up by the dude that smell like shit.
But here's the thing, though. Which it feels so weird saying that, like, to sit there and like criticize like kids for being outspoken. Like, dude, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, that was me. Like, I used to say like reckless shit. But
growth and maturity, man.
As we grow up, as we mature, we operate under, the conditions of restraint. You know what I mean? I see countless shit, like just being on social media. I'll see shit and be like, let me scroll past. I'm not going to engage with it. And if I see some stuff that I don't like, unfollow. I don't want to see this shit. You know what I mean? Like the people that have been posting, and it's not that I don't care. It's not that I'm insensitive to it. I just do not have the desire to see someone be murdered on my phone. I don't want to see it. And when a young man was killed in Philadelphia and people kept posting, the video of it, I was like, I don't want to see that. And I just unfollow. Like this culture of we have to show and report, like, okay, it doesn't mean I don't care about it because I don't want to see it. I know that it's happening, but I do not desire to see someone die. Like to this day, I've never seen the video of George Floyd being murdered. I didn't watch the video of the man in Atlanta that was shot by the police. I didn't watch the Ahmaud Arbery. I don't want to see it because I don't want to see it. I've never seen the Eric Garner. Like I've never seen the Philando Castile. I've never seen Tamir. I don't want to see it. I know that it happened. Instead of us continuing to post it, I get it. You're trying to bring awareness. We know about it. Like instead of us continuing to post and say, look how bad it is, we need to do other things to make those changes. You know what I mean? Like, quite frankly, it brought joy to my heart when I saw the people fighting back the police. That made me feel good inside because you are sworn to protect us and you're here to hurt us.
Where did that happen?
You can't come in here. In Philly.
Was that you talking about the young MA situation that she posted?
No, there was it's not that I don't care, but I don't recall the name of this young man because it's just
I think he was mentally
stories.
Ill, right?
He was mentally ill. He was having, an episode, and I think he had a knife or a pair of scissors or something like that, and he was walking toward the police, and they shot him like 10 times, and they killed him. You know what I mean? And then right after that, your social media timeline will load up other shit. There was instances, a police officer, a white police officer, sitting in his car, and he had pulled over a truck of white teenagers, and they got out the car, they throwing rocks at the car. He got the windows rolled up, they on the windows, they hitting it with lacrosse sticks, and he's just sitting there calm and on his radio calling for help. But we all know that if those kids were a little bit browner, he'd have lit their asses up.
Right.
This is what we're talking about. So instead of posting the stuff that we know the disparities, we know the difference on how we're treated, how people of color are treated, can we do something else? I think it's stupid that we live in a country where if I had to go and be a cosmetologist or a master barber, I have to go to school longer than if I decided I wanted to be a police officer. That's stupid. People go to medical school and law school so that they can learn the law in the medical for years, but you can go and be a police officer. You're supposed to be there to enforce the laws and protect the communities that you're serving, but you don't even have to have nearly half of the training that someone needs to be able to do my hair, cut my hair, represent me.
What is it? 22 weeks?
What are we talking about?
42.
To become a police officer?
Stupid.
42 weeks.
Wow.
That depends on what state you're in. I remember
it might even be shorter than that.
Yeah,
depending on where you're at, it might be shorter than that.
This was like in 1999. I was like, I need a good job. I was living in Fort Stewart, Georgia, Hinesville, Georgia. I was like, you know what? I need a good job. I need a career, good benefits. And I almost applied for the Hinesville Police Department. And the training was 6 weeks. And you just had to pass a background check and a lie detector test and go through the 6 weeks of training. And then I would have been a police officer. Can you imagine Ty Davis with the right to correct a nigga with a gun? All it would take for me is to have a bad day. All it would take is for me to have a bad day, bust somebody's ass. Or what if I say, you know what, I'm tired of the prejudice and all of the racism. I'm going to racially profile the whites. I'm going to flip the script. And I'm going to be pulling over the whites, and I'm going to be roughing them. You know what I mean? Like, just imagine. So just as many people that's against us that are in institutions where we go to seek help and treatment for whatever, we could flip that and be on the other side of it. But that doesn't make it right. That doesn't make the changes.
I mean, that's just, yeah. Somebody said, I'm glad Ty did not become a police officer. Hilarious. But
look, I'm glad I didn't become a police officer. I would be busting ass. Like, I know this about me. I'd be yoking these kids up.
I would tase the shit out of.
Yeah.
Can't give me no goddamn taser, man. Just because you gonna give me a taser,
I'm body slamming. Choke slam. Like, I get upset. This is how my mental wellness is bad. Like, if we're all doing a comedy show, right? And we're all on the show, all four of us on the show, and I'm watching Kev do his set, and someone in the crowd starts heckling him and starts being disrespectful, I want to fight that person. I want to go and yank that person out their chair and throw them out of the room for the disrespect. Not because you're black, not because they're whatever race they are, but because as a comedian and you are my comrade and my brother in this thing that I care about, and I don't like nobody fucking with us, like, that's what it would be.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you need to undergo like extensive mental therapy where you are in positions where, like, you got to remove your bias from stuff. Like, I've gone to jury duty and they be like, do you have any biases? Yes, I don't fuck with the police. And I'm inclined to believe the story that this young man said some shit was planted on him. I'm inclined to believe that young man was set up. It's best that I don't serve on this jury. You are excused, Miss Davis. Thank you.
Right.
Or I could pretend that I'm biased and I'm like, oh no, I can look at this with a blind eye, and then get in that jury room and then convince 11 other people. I know that I have the ability to manipulate 11 other people to see and understand where I'm coming from. And now this man is free because I weaseled my way in there and I influenced 11 other people to make a decision because that's what I wanted. Like, man, what? Like, at this, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of everything.
I'm not gonna lie. I often. So, first and foremost, to what you said as far as the amount of time that it takes to be a police officer, there's a lot of other jobs where it takes like fucking 4 years, where it's just like you don't really need. You need about 10. You need about 10 good months of on the job training to do this shit, man. Like, come on. And then there's other jobs that are really, really, like, you know what I'm saying? Really, really detailed. Like, dude. What, like, how do you not have to have like at least 2 years to become an electrician? Like, you're dealing with electricity. Like, you can fry the shit. You know how many fires and shit you can start if you do some shit wrong? It's just, it's just weird.
Like, bust it down.
Shit.
Bust it down to the smallest, right? To the smallest thing that we can think of. What requirements do you have to have in order to be a stand-up comedian?
Shit. You
just need to have the courage and the confidence to go on stage and talk your shit.
Pretty much.
That's it. You ain't got to go to comedy college. You ain't got to go to the University of Laughs. You don't have to learn how to place a mic and stage presence. You don't have. All you just be courageous enough to stand on stage and say whatever it is you want to say. Isn't it ridiculous that the requirement to be a comedian is not that you have to be funny? You don't even have to be funny to be a comedian.
You really don't.
You don't.
You have to be. No. You have to be funny to be a successful comedian.
No, you don't. I know a lot of successful motherfuckers that you don't.
Wow, don't really.
You know some people that are successful right now that you know damn well ain't as funny as you are. I guarantee you that.
Wow.
I know not you know a few people like that.
You just said names. Who the hell is Andy Kaufman?
People that are successful that are not.
Andy Kaufman is?
No.
Andy Kaufman used to wrestle women on stage and shit, man.
Andy Kaufman, you talking from Taxi?
Andy Kaufman, man.
Is he not funny? Like, what are we?
No, he's not funny.
No, he ain't funny.
Case in point, the first time, and I thought you were kidding, Kevin. I really thought you were joking.
With what?
When you said this shit, you were like, Tank is doing stand-up comedy. I was like, no, the fuck he's not. You're stupid. And literally, I started to see videos and I was like, wait, this nigga's really doing comedy. And I've heard other comedians say, nah, he's funny though. He's kind of like Jamie Foxx, like he sings and he said, and I'm like, what? What do you mean? I've never seen his stand-up. Do I think I love his voice. I think he's a great vocalist. I think that he is extremely active. You know what I mean? But is he funny? And there are people that sat in the audiences of him doing shows that was like, this nigga's hilarious. And I was like, bro, I don't know.
They laugh because he's Tank, because he's a singer. This nigga ain't funny.
But he's successful.
A football player turned singer.
He's successful.
Is he a football player?
Turn actors, turn podcasters,
Wait, you know what I mean? So he played football.
He could have played football, but he decided to sing.
What do you mean he could have played football?
He could have played football.
Like seriously, pro? We talking pro?
He could have went pro.
Wow.
Hell yeah. Look at motherfucker's Wikipedia. Look up his bio. That motherfucker could have played football, man. He decided to sing.
Wow.
And he's a muscular built guy. He's an athletic guy.
He's athletic. He's an athletic singer.
Wow.
Well, I'm taller than him, but whatever.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, right.
I had no idea that Tank was a comedian / running back /
Come on, man.
And that seems to be like the outlet. Like when people fail at everything else, they go into stand-up comedy.
Columbus Short.
Whoa.
Hey, I'm gonna say it, nigga. Columbus Short. Oh boy, you know who Columbus Short is?
No.
Come on, man.
That serve. Like the guy from the movie, what was it? Stomp the Yard.
Stomp the Yard. Remember him and Chris Brown? Chris Brown was in a movie together.
You got served.
He was in Chris Brown, Big Brother. The TV series with old girl Kerry Washington with the mouth.
He He was in Scandal.
He was in that.
He's one of the gladiators in Scandal.
Okay. This nigga tried to do stand-up comedy.
Wow.
I'm at the Comedy Store, fam. I'm doing what's his name show? Bob Sumner show. I'm doing Bob Sumner show at the Comedy Store. This is years ago. It's a few years back when Scandal, I think, was still out before he got canceled off of it or whatever. But sure enough, yeah, because he did some foul shit. But anyway, this nigga here, he's on the stage right after. I think I went on after him or he went on after me, whichever.
He did. I was tripping when he walked in. Scandal.
Huh?
He got canceled from Scandal. He did.
Right. He ended up getting canceled for that for some foul shit he did. Wow. But anyway, this nigga was on stage, bro, and I'm looking at him like, that's not. You're acting like a comic. You're acting like a comedian. You're not a fucking comic, bro.
But do you know how many actors? Do you know how many actors receive the advice from their representation that they should go and do stand-up comedy that will help them, you know, be better actors and da 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 da. Just like there are comics who do stand-up comedy that are only doing it because they aspire to break into something else. They want to be musicians. They want to be actors. So that's why you see the stand-up comics that come in and they're doing comedy, and then once they get their big break in films, that's it, fam. They like, fuck that stage, fuck them jokes. I want to be an actress. I want to be an actor.
Wow. Who knew? Who knew?
Chris Tucker damn show did it. He got that movie there. He was gone.
Out of there.
Who? Chris Tucker.
Oh,
out of here.
Hey, Chris
got out
now real quick.
Here's the thing.
But he got paid though.
I wouldn't. I'm more passionate about being a stand-up comedian and writer for television and film. But if I get cast in a movie, like, have I auditioned for television shows and shit? Yeah. If I get put in a movie, great. But just because I'm in this movie doesn't mean that I still don't want to do stand-up comedy. Like at my core, that's why my Instagram name is Comedian Ty Davis. I am a comedian first. Am I great at radio? Yes. And I love radio. And if I had a nationally syndicated radio show, I would love that shit. But I'm also still doing these fucking jokes. I'm also still touring the country telling these jokes. But some people abandon that because they just want to use whatever area of the industry that gets them in.
Now,
how many rappers turned actors are there?
Right.
How did radio happen for you, Ty? Like, how did that
radio happen for me? Because of comedy.
No, dead ass. Dead ass.
No bullshit. Like, I was already a stand-up comedian. I had did this show one night here in Baltimore, and the DJ for the show was a DJ mixer for a broadcast radio station, and he also was a radio host for the streaming radio station LR. And his co-hosts were stand-up comedians that I used to run with. So one day we all had a show. I went to the studio to wait for them to finish up the show so that we could then head out to DC and do the stand-up. And they were like, come in here and kick it with us or whatever. And I was like, all right, cool. And I'm just looking around and watching them do radio. And then at one point, the host of the show, the DJ, shoves the mic in my face and he's like, Ty, what do you think? And I was like, well, I think da-da-da-da-da or whatever. And then he was like, oh, wow. He was like, appreciate your contribution or whatever. And then after that, he was like, hey, why don't you come kick it? The other people that I was with, come kick it. And I would kick it from time to time at the radio station. And then one day it became like a regular thing. He was like, yo, you should come and fuck with us every day. So I started out as a contributor. I wasn't getting paid. I was just there talking. And then I would do research and find out trending topics and things we could talk about on radio. And then I had been there so long and learning everything. And then I got added as a co-host to his show, learning more. So then I learned how to operate the board. I learned how to engineer the equipment and the programs to produce the radio shows. And when the host of the show had to go out of town or he was sick or something like that, then I would run the show. And then when the opportunity presented itself for me to get my own show, I shot my shot. I gave my argument as to why I thought I would be great for this time slot. And then boom, I have my own radio show from 11 to 2. But it was the comedy that led me to it. A radio host saw me doing stand-up comedy, was like, oh, you funny, come in and talk your shit. And that's how. I never had aspirations or dreams of, I want to do radio. But countless people have always said, oh my God, you have such a great voice. You would sound good on radio. And I just was like, all right, whatever. And then I started doing radio and I loved it. I don't do radio anymore, but I will go back to it when the opportunity presents itself because I loved it. But if I had to choose, which I had to choose, but I had to choose. Like there were times it was like, hey, Ty, you got to go out of town. Like Miami, Ty, you got to go out of town. Or Ty, you got to go to LA, you know, for comedy. Or are you going to stay here and do the show? I was like, hey, niggas, just comedy is the priority. So if I got to go and take care of some comedy business, I'm going to go do that. And I would take off work from radio and go do my comedy shit and then come back and do radio. So comedy has always been priority number one. But that's how I got into radio, because of comedy.
That's dope.
A lot of people think you're just doing comedy because you want to break into something. I had somebody ask me that the other day. It was like, so you don't want to do movies? I'll do movies, bro. Right. But I still, stand up, I love it, man. I love the art form. I love how vulnerable I feel when I'm on the stage. I love controlling the crowd, like getting to see my thoughts. Right. And shit like that. Like, I love that shit. I don't necessarily want to be the biggest movie star in the world.
Hell yeah. It's the best high ever.
Man.
It's legit the best drug I've ever had. And I've only ever done the reefer, fam. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, but that fit, like, you mean to tell me I get to stand in front of a room full of 10, 20, 100,000 people and I get to control what they laugh at? I get to control how they feel. Even if you don't like what I'm saying, I get to affect your emotions like that. Nigga, that's dope. You know how powerful you are as a stand-up comedian?
Hell yeah, give me that.
You know what's
a room full of people listening? What? That's lit.
And the crazy thing about like if you do some shit that you believe in, or if you do something that you genuinely fit into. Cause Ty, I'm not gonna lie, I listen to your radio show. Like when you would go live, I'll be listening. I'm like, man, that's fucking dope. Like I've always wanted to break into radio, but I suck at like for me to stand in front of something and talk to it, it's weird to me. You know what I'm saying? But like when I started doing the whole It's Early shit, I just started doing it. And then when I stopped, which is weird, it's like when I stopped doing it, people reach out and be like, yo, why don't you do the shit in the morning? You know what I'm saying? Like I like laughing at the video. It's a funny story. I mean, like, dude, there's billions of freaking stories. I just hate going live. Because my wife was like, you should probably do that shit live. And I was like, hell no. Like, no, I would never. I hate talking to, like, radio. Of course, I would love to be in radio, but I could never be in radio because it's just like, I feel like I don't be knowing what to do with my hands and shit, you know?
But radio is actually more challenging. Radio is more challenging than being a stand-up comedian, because when I'm talking on radio and I got my headphones in, 9 times out of 10, I'm in the studio by myself. I don't know what the people are feeling or how they're reacting to what I'm saying. The only way that I get that feedback is when they call in. So if I'm like, hey, let me know what your thoughts are, call in, and they call in or they DM me, because I would interact on social media while I was doing radio, but you don't know how they're feeling. Also, you have to know how to control your voice. You have to know how, like, I don't talk like this on radio because I'm talking to you, but on radio, it's very, it's like, hey, what's up? And this is what I'm doing. Turn up. But I'm literally doing all of these movements and stuff, knowing that the audience can't see me doing what I'm doing, but I have to take myself through the motions so that I can project that voice. Like I've done commercials where they're like, hey, can you do it like this? Hey, can you sound more urban? Hey, can you sound more sultry? Hey, can you sound more sexy? Hey, can you sound more feminine? Because I do have a lower, deeper tone, raspy voice. Can you elevate your pitch? Can you, today we have, you know what I mean? Like it's just like news broadcasters. You don't really think them niggas talk like that at home, do you?
Have y'all seen that video of that dude that like a wasp flew past his face and he was like, God damn it, motherfucker.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like there's a couple, there's a husband and wife news anchor couple. I don't know their names, but they do these videos that they put on their Instagram and their TikTok. I'm gonna find them, but their videos are hilarious about how they talk to each other. So you see them on the news, you see them as they're anchors. So they're sitting in the chair, they're news anchors, and they're like, today's story was this and this, and that's how they talk. So then they do videos of them having marital arguments using their news anchor voices, and then they drop out of their news anchor voices, and she's like, well, what you're not about to do is this. But they don't talk like that on the news.
Right.
Because
when they're on the station.
That's not how they talk.
That would be funny as fuck though, to see somebody actually do that. You know what I'm saying? Somebody
like,
just actually use their regular tone ass voice when they're giving the regular news and just be like, yeah, so yesterday, you know, we had this incident and there was a couple of accidents. Hey, just tone it down for a minute.
They don't talk like that.
Hold on, man. I'm trying to say something, motherfucker.
Listen
here, man. So yesterday in the news, man, these niggas was tripping and, you know, they just go in.
If you follow him on Instagram, the guy's name, his name is Robert Burton. He's a Washington news anchor. His Instagram name is ABC7, the number 7, Robert. And his wife's name is at Miss News Lady on Instagram, but her name is Jeanette Reyes because she's also on ABC Action News. So, and she's like an Afro Latina, and she has a video where her and her homegirl, who's also a news anchor, are spilling the tea. They're gossiping, but they're using their news anchor voices. The shit is hilarious. I fucking think they're great. Like, and I love watching their videos. Matter of fact, I'm about to go follow these niggas. That's what I'm about to do. So I can get their shit all the time. I think they're fucking hilarious. Like, yeah, Jeanette Reyes. It's Jeanette Reyes and Robert Burton. And there's another woman named Mona Abdi. And they're news correspondents. And they make fun of how, like, niggas, y'all really think we talk like this all day? In today's news, with all of the stops and the... They don't talk like that. They talk like this, like, yo.
Every phrase end with a question, and he probably would have saved his life.
Right.
Back to you.
You
like,
know what it is? Fuck? It's code switching. It's code switching. Like, you talk to us, you talk to me, Lucius, and Ralph in a different way. But if you were doing a job interview, if you were meeting with executives, you wouldn't be like, it's early. Wednesday. You wouldn't talk like that. You wouldn't talk like that.
It's just very dry.
Right.
It's very dry. That's hilarious, man.
Oh shit! Oh boy, Aaron Edwards follows these cats.
I'm gonna send y'all this shit in your DM so y'all could look at. Like, the shit is hilarious to me.
I just started following old boy, so I'm gonna go back and look at that shit.
Oh, I appreciate the DM last week, Ty, too. It was very insightful about.
You know, I be trying to give y'all references.
Whoa. What DM we talking
I sent it to you too, motherfucker. I sent it to you too, Kev. Clearly you didn't watch it.
All right. Yeah.
You didn't watch it.
Probably
you didn't look at it.
I don't know.
I sent it
I don't know.
to you. You didn't care. You didn't care. It's cool.
My hair's falling out. I got other shit to worry about. Okay, my hair. I'm about
Your
to look like
falling out. What's going on with your hair,
Lucius in a minute.
Hey, bro, it's not a bad thing, bro. You just gotta learn to accept it. I promise you. When I first
did it, bald by choice.
Man.
Hey, I got a little LeBron going on. You know, see my shit going down
happens,
the court.
bro. But you gotta learn to accept it. If you can't deal with it, you're gonna be walking around like Hulk Hogan and shit. You just gonna have that. For real. You gotta learn to accept it.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Wow. No, I was just joking. My hair's
cul-de-sac shag.
I'm about to say, I had the Hulk Hogan going, bro. I was trying to hold on. I was like, give me the Floyd Mayweather, where it was like super low, but you can see the line and that motherfucker kept going farther back and shit. I was like, yeah, bro, it's time.
Yeah.
Right.
See this? Y'all see this shit? I got 2 more bad linings to go, and it's over. But
you got about 3 more haircuts, nigga.
Yeah, that motherfucker had the button in the middle of the hat right now. So
right. I'm saving that shit.
Or you could get a unit.
Oh, hell no, man. Dude, hell no.
Oh, get that fake wave, that hair, that wave shit.
Here, man. Look here.
You get that.
Listen, I had a homeboy
get that Deion Sanders.
I had a homeboy. We not friends no more. Fuck that guy. But I had a homeboy who had the George Jefferson. Like, his middle was gone, but he still had strong sides in the back. And my man got that unit, and he filled in the gaps, and like it's amazing. Or like dudes getting the fake beards.
You can't do shit. You can't do shit with that unit, man. You can't play ball. You can't go swimming. You can't get caught in the rain. You can't do.
Well, that's factually
shit.
incorrect from a woman that wears.
What are we talking about, Ty?
Not correct.
What we
It
talking
is
about?
just
What are
not
we talking about?
correct.
What are we talking about,
Get
Ty?
your
What are we
in,
talking
son.
about, Ty?
Get that sew in, fam. You
What are we?
get that sew in.
Glue that shit in there.
I have had sew-ins. The glue that they use to secure your lace front if you don't want to just pull it off, that glue is strong as fuck. First of all, it's amazing. I don't even
shit,
know.
right? Goddamn
that
skin
black
off.
glue.
No, the black glue is for.
They use that shit on car doors. When car doors
it's a
fall
whole
off,
different-
that's the glue that they use.
It's a whole different.
Okay,
car door
I'm
back
It's
on.
different types of glue. Yeah, it's different types of glue. The black glue is for tracks, and then if a woman puts on eyelashes, she uses a different kind of glue for her lashes. Just like
That
if
shit
she
is scary.
secures her weave, that's a different
Right.
kind of glue.
That eyebrow
It's a
shit is
different
scary.
kind
I
of
seen
glue,
a
but
girl
it's
just take the
glue.
motherfucker off and just snatch the eyelid off and motherfucking. Yeah, that shit's scary, man.
Nah, man.
So you're
But then you
saying?
can also get your eyelashes individually put in.
No, I'm good.
man.
I'm never.
Who's doing that shit?
Who?
Oh,
Yeah.
man, you got motherfuckers tricking the world.
A
I know
lot
a girl
of
that
it's
gets
it's a $1 billion industry.
Right, because motherfuckers are so vain.
yeah.
It's a billion. Like if I wanted to, this ain't my hair. This ain't my hair, fam. It looks like it's my hair.
What
It
happened
looks
to
natural.
the?
It looks like I grew it out of my.
Where's the
Ponytail.
Midnight Falcon? Damn it! Where?
I'm never.
Where's the Shaka Khan at?
Bruh,
Where's the Midnight
hold up.
Falcon?
Did y'all see my bird in the Midnight Falcon's wig?
No.
Okay, so I'm perusing around on the goddamn Instagram. I'm perusing around on the Amazon. I'm gonna send this to you guys right now because I need you.
Oh,
Kevin, you saw
shit.
it, right?
Of course, man. That shit.
All right,
was
Kevin
hilarious.
saw it, so I'm gonna send it to your DMs, Ralph. I'm gonna send you the post,
Okay.
and I'm gonna send it to Lucius. All right, and the picture is what I saw on Amazon Prime. Okay, so I put what I asked for.
Okay.
Oh, it didn't go to the Lucius. So that's what I asked for. That is what I
my
saw
God.
advertised, and I was like, "Ooh, I want that." When I got my wig in the mail and I put it on my goddamn head, swipe left to see what I got.
I see what you wanted. You said when I asked for, okay, that's what you swipe left.
It's good. It was good. It was. Hey.
You know how many people hit me? They called me and was like, "Yo, Todd, take that post down."
Oh my
For what?
God.
It's my truth. This is what happened. I did a live with that damn wig on my head because this is what I asked for, and that's what I got in the mail.
See, that's
And it was in
what can't
that
happen.
moment that I different team was over for me.
That's
That
why.
looked like something Trump been using.
Man.
Bruh, it looks awful.
The fuck.
I seen a dude. He had a
And
beard.
and believe it or not, that was after I had to do something to it to make it look like that because it looked like a pancake. They didn't even ship it right. You just gonna send it to me in a manila envelope, and it was all smashed like a pancake, and I had to shape it. That was the best I could
Right.
make
You
that
had to
day.
go
I'm in
iron
there
it.
looking like somebody need to dangle me from a balcony. I'm looking like I had Cookie and her homegirls come and cheer for me at the goddamn talent show.
That is such an underrated. That is
I will
such an
never- but I didn't throw it
underrated
away.
movie, by the way. Okay, that is
First
such
of all,
that is
who
such
said
an
it was
underrated.
underrated?
Wait,
who
what? There
underrated
are
the Five
people.
Heartbeats?
There are people out here that do not like.
Heartbeats underrated?
Yes,
Those people are ridiculous.
You
There
must
are
be out your
people-
mind.
I didn't say
The Five Heartbeats.
Hey,
Oh,
the Five
I
Heartbeats
didn't-
is a classic film.
classic
say,
joint.
come on,
Heartbeats is a
fam.
great film. It's a great film.
Classic joint. Classic
They
joint.
play it every Black History Month. Damn it. They play it.
There are lines to this day that we can say and people will get the reference. If I break out with the dang nights like this, you know what I'm talking about.
Right.
The image pops in your head. You know what I'm saying? Like Five Heartbeats was the shit. It was
Wow.
classic.
Is there
Let's play
Is
shop.
there
Let's
the
play
damn
shop,
talent
brother.
show? The talent show? What? When
Come on,
Choir Boy
man.
came out and hit that falsetto on these hoes?
Real quick though, your boy Your boy ain't been shit in now another movie though. Dresser, weak ass. In every other role he played, Dresser ain't shit.
He ain't had to because
Dresser
he known
ain't
for
like
one.
disrespect.
Dresser ain't shit.
One.
I like Dresser. Dresser did in the
me?
other movie.
Man,
And what? Name one. Name one other movie.
That movie was so good. I thought they were a real group.
Dresser ain't been shit in every other movie he been in. He was in The Matrix.
Yo, Robert Townsend is a talented ass motherfucker. I ain't gonna hold you, man.
Robert Townsend is a beast.
Robert Townsend, that's a very creative nigga. He's amazing. But Dresser's been in a couple of things. He's been. Let me pull up Dresser. I don't even know this nigga's real name. His nigga's name is Dresser.
His name is Dresser. God damn it!
His name is Dresser.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
He will forever be known as Dresser, yo.
But he's been in several movies where he was where he played a trash ass character.
Let me see. What's Dresser's real name?
I'm
trying to find it.
He was in Superman. He was in Man of Steel. Don't nobody remember Dresser in Man of Steel?
Man, ain't nobody watching Man of Steel, bro.
Man of Steel was dope.
I ain't fucking about Man of Steel.
Man of Steel was dope.
Where is Dresser? Why is Dresser not listed?
Yeah, Man of Steel.
Oh, here you go. His real name is Harry Lennox. Oh, he from Chicago, Kev.
You don't even know who he is, Kev. Thank you.
I don't know. That nigga name is Dresser.
Why you don't know him? That's your boy.
He's from Chicago. Let me see. He played in.
The Matrix.
He was in Mo Money. Amber.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Dresser ain't never been shit. Dresser ain't been shit in every other movie he played in.
Told me that joke. Mo Money was funny as shit. He was in Guarding Tess. He was one of the Secret Service dudes in Guarding Tess with Nicolas Cage. I remember that. He was in Get on the Bus. Okay. He was in Clockers.
He was in Matrix.
He was in Love and Basketball. He was her daddy in Love and Basketball. He was the dad.
He wasn't shit in there.
Man, come on, man. He was an FBI agent in Collateral Damage with Jamie Foxx and Tom Cruise. Come on, man. Don't do Dresser like that, dog.
Really?
He was Commander Locke in The Matrix. The Matrix was an excellent series of films, by the way.
I agree.
Hold on.
I agree.
Wait a minute. Back that thing.
He was in Ray. He was the dirty ass manager.
I know you ain't bugging on the Matrix.
Back that thing up for a real nigga one time.
Oh,
okay.
Oh shit. Here we go.
Back it in up.
Here we go.
You gonna tell me Matrix Part 2? Okay, see, here's the thing, though. First and foremost, you got to know your Matrix history. You got to know that they stole that script from a goddamn black woman who sued their ass and got paid millions and millions of dollars because the Matrix was supposed to be a religious flick. And they still tried to make it religious.
I know my history. I know my history behind the Matrix. Okay, I know this. Okay, I know this.
So you knew that. You knew that.
I did. Listen,
I'm
always prepared to debate with you. I'm always prepared to debate with you.
Say less. Part two wasn't even supposed to happen. It was just supposed to be part 1, and then it was supposed to be part 3. Part 2 was just some bullshit they threw together to make some more money.
First of all, it's stupid. It's stupid to say that there wasn't supposed to be a part 2. It's supposed to be 1 and 3. That's just not how numbers work.
No. you understand? No, come on. Check this out. So
it's over. It's over, Kev. Hey,
you do realize part 2.
He lost.
Are you kidding me? Y'all just gonna say I fucking lost?
It's supposed to be 1 and then 3. And you said that with confidence and conviction,
What I'm saying is
there's
part
only supposed to be 2 of them.
Tell me what the hell part 2 was about. Please, by all means, tell me what part 2 was about.
So the crazy thing is, did you know that Lawrence Fishburne wasn't supposed to do the role of Morpheus? There was other people that was supposed to be,
and Will Smith was supposed to play Neo.
And I like, but listen, the Matrix was dope. Like the Matrix Part 2, it was because it was a trilogy. So they had to continue it. The way that part 1 ended, they had to do a filler to get to the end game. They had to. Like, you can't.
Right.
Like, that's just not
And
how
it's
numbers
still
work.
in the
Man.
blank.
You don't. You can't.
So check this out real quick. Let me just paint this
It's not
picture for you.
1, 3, 5, 7.
No. Let me just. No,
It's 1, 2, 3.
there was only 3 Matrixes, right? There was only 3.
Right.
There was Matrix, Matrix Reloaded, and then
Reloaded.
some other shit. Okay, so
Revolutions.
Yeah. So in part 1, you have Neo figuring out that he was supposed to be the one, right? Kick ass. Part 1, dopest shit ever, right?
It was the shit.
It was the shit. Part 2 was just a whole bunch of shit. They're showing all these other different agents. Right. It was just a bunch of shit. It was all over the place, right? But then part 3, Mr. Smith became so powerful that he started to overtake the Matrix, and the only way for them to get salvation was because Neo had to, like, lay his, Yeah, it was a religious...
I'm about to fuck your head up, Kev.
Sure, go for it.
I know something you don't know.
Go for it.
The Matrix Part 4 comes out next year. Did you know
Get
that?
Get the fuck out of here. For
yeah,
what?
they pushed it back, right? It's supposed to come out this year.
Are you like, why?
It was supposed to come out this year, but
and they pushed it back.
Pushed it back. Wow, I didn't know that.
It was, but COVID, so they pushed it back.
No fucking way.
Well, really, it was supposed to go 1, 4, 3, and then 2.
It was supposed to be 1, 3, 4.
It's round. That's what it was. Round.
There's no need. All they're doing is trying to make back the money that chick sued they asked for. That's all they're trying to do.
And they gonna get it though, Kev. They gonna get it.
She wrote the scripts to 1 and 3, and they've been fluffing this movie. It's
First of all, she wrote 1 and 2. Stop saying 1 and 3.
She wrote 1 and 3.
Stop saying 1 and 3. Mm-hmm. She wrote 1 and 2, and they did what they wanted to when they hijacked her stuff. What?
Right.
No, the storyline was 1 and 3. 1 and 3, basically Neo figuring out that he's the one, and then him figuring out that in order for him to save humanity. I'm just telling you.
What school did you go to, Kev?
You know what the hell I'm saying, bro. I know y'all know what the hell I'm saying. I know y'all know what the hell I'm saying.
I'm looking at my laptop right now. You got the keyboard overhead, and you got calculator over here. You know there's a 2 in between the 1 and the 3.
I don't want to hear this shit, Ralph.
I thought it was a 4. I thought it was a 4, Ralph.
I don't want to hear this shit. I don't want to hear this shit.
I see a 1, a 2, and then a 3.
Y'all get what I'm saying. I know y'all know what I'm saying.
What comes after 3, Ralph?
It's cute.
All the other people in the back that were listening. It's cute. Hell no. You bullshitting.
It's cute.
4 comes after 3.
I like what you did there, Lucius. I like what you did there.
Like Kevin, you be having I be seeing the brilliance of what you be wanting to say, and then you just be messing it up, and I be like, my nigga, okay, I know what you were. I know what you were trying to say.
Let me talk slowly and clearly. Okay, it's like me.
You can talk as slow as you want.
Check this out.
2 still comes after 1.
Absolutely, it does.
And before 3.
Check this out. So this is what happened. Okay. I come to Ty with a script, right? I have a 2-part script. This script is based on 2 movies. I hand it to Ty and I say, hey, Ty, what do you think about this script? She looks at it, reads it over. This is trash ass. Throws it in the trash, right? Meanwhile, she starts writing off of that script. She's like, yeah, I'm about to steal the fuck out of this. Steal the idea, whatever. The number 1 was so successful, made so much money. I'm sitting at the crib like, yo, that's my shit. I'm suing the shit out of y'all. How am I going to cover this lawsuit? I got 2 scripts here. I got a 2-part script for 2 movies. How am I going to cover this fucking lawsuit? I'm going to have to make another movie. Now, that other movie, that fluffer movie, it could be trash ass. And which Matrix Part 2 was just that. It was trash fucking ass. It had absolutely nothing to do with nothing. It was trash ass. You know what? Last time I seen Matrix was a few whiles ago, or a few seconds ago when I looked at the goddamn tissue. It's shit. Okay? It's shit. You understand me? It had absolutely nothing to do with the storyline. And then in part
what you're
3,
saying basically is you wipe your ass and then you look at it to see what's on it. And then
absolutely, you better. Doesn't everybody?
And it was
the
the Matrix 2.
The Wachowski brothers.
Matrix 2
the
over
Wachowski brothers. But there's a lesson in this, right? So like, let's say like we're working on our own individual projects. I'm working on projects and writing things, right? Before I go and submit and do any of that, I will copyright my shit to make sure that I'm protected. The young lady involved in this whole shit submitted to a comic book, like a comic book contest. So she submitted her manuscript to this contest that was like sponsored and ran or whatever by the Wachowski brothers, who are the producers and the screenplay writers of the Matrix movies. And she never heard back from them. She didn't win the contest. You know, her manuscript was never returned. And then some years later, she sees her shit on TV and she files a lawsuit. And it took years for that litigation to go through, but she had to continue to spend time and money to get her shit. If you even look at it to this day, still not in the credits of those movies.
Is her?
It says by the Wachowskis brothers, they settled, which a part of the NDA, which is why this woman has never done a goddamn interview with anyone ever talking about it, because the terms and conditions of this settlement was you sign this NDA, you take this big ass check, and you shut the fuck up. That's it. But they stole the shit. Now, a part of the lawsuit is that they also are not admitting that they stole shit. They just settled out of court to make the shit go away. The Matrix, let me pull it up. The Matrix Part 1, fam.
Mm-hmm.
Gross what?
$465.3 million. That was just part.
That's the first one. Okay.
That was just the first one.
And
you
then
really, the budget for the movie, my nigga, the budget for them to create the Matrix was $63 million. They made $465 million.
Right. So they
off of the one movie.
They made 403 million.
You know what I'm saying?
They paid her. It was like 100. It was like over 100 and something million that they paid.
What they gave her?
Yes.
She got paid. She also got paid to shut the fuck up. She got paid to be quiet. The second one, I'll bust your head. You said part 2 was a shitty movie.
It was trash.
That's what you said. It was trash. That's what you said, right? The budget to make part 2 of the Matrix was between $127 and $150 million. Ask me how much it made in the box office.
How much?
$741.8 million. God,
it's good.
They're not trying to make the money back, Kev, is what you're saying.
What I'm trying to say is they didn't have to make the money back. The money was made. And quite frankly, we don't know the actual amount that she received in the settlement because that is also not disclosed. It's speculated as to what she received. But you're looking at these two movies that have made over $1 billion. Matrix 3. Let's just for shits and giggles.
Shits and giggles.
Matrix, their budget to make it was 110 to 150
million. Shut your ass up, Lucius. Ty, was the movie good? Was the Matrix Part 2 any good? Was that movie any good? You like that movie? Has everyone on this panel seen Part 2?
I liked it. I thought it was cool. I liked the first one better, but I thought the second one was cool.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Do you remember what the second one was about?
Yeah.
It was
shit.
Oh, yeah.
I think at the end of it.
All right. Don't all talk at once.
No,
we ain't talking about the end. We talking about what was it about. Does anybody recall what the Matrix Part 2? What was it about?
So remember, the ending of Part 1 was Neo has now accepted, like, oh, I am the one. It's my responsibility to go into the Matrix and free us because we're slaves to artificial intelligence and to the machines. Part 2 is where the people that that are outside of the matrix, right? They live like underground. They're living in the real world. Those are the people that are now getting their forces together so that they can bring war against the machines. But what happens is that Agent Smith, when Neo entered inside of him and exploded him, it created an anomaly within the Matrix that even the creator of the Matrix was not prepared for. So now he has two people that he has the villain that he has to go up against, the creator of the Matrix. It's Neo, the one designed to bring down the Matrix, and then Agent Smith, which is the anomaly that they did not prepare for, to come in and also destroy the Matrix. Okay. Boom. So then what happens is that Agent Smith is able to insert himself into people outside of the Matrix, and the machines start to attack the people in the underground tunnels or wherever the fuck it is that they live.
Right.
The Oracle was replaced in that. I think she died. I think the real Oracle died.
She did.
Right. That's why the new Oracle was presented as someone else, but they wrote in the storyline that the Matrix, you know, the consequences of her doing what she did changed her appearance. So that's what the Matrix 2 was about, and preparing for the war. And the Matrix Revolution was the actual war.
Now, this
welcome.
This is what I actually, okay, so before there was a settlement, they did the interview with the young lady. This was some fucking years ago, okay? Some years ago. And they're basically asking her, okay, so who are you? Y'all can look it up. It might not even be out there anymore because she did sign the NDA or whatever.
It's
but
always out there.
Basically, she was telling, you know, this is my script, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. And she was given the backdrop of the script. And it was 1 and 3 that she was responsible for. It was 1 and 3 that she wrote. The Wachowski brothers are responsible for part 2. That's what I'm
gonna tell
saying.
you what it is, Kev. She was responsible for 1 and 2. The Wachowski brothers wrote their own little thing, moved her 2 to the 3 to put theirs in there. So that's why her shit became 3 and theirs 2.
Thank you, Ralph.
Come on,
Ain't that what I said? Ain't that what the hell
no,
I
that's not what.
Go ahead, walk off screen, Ralph. Go ahead, walk away, Ralph.
Walk off, Ralph.
Yeah. You got to know that's what it was, fam.
Okay.
She had 1 and 2. They moved hers, put theirs in between. That's why theirs became 2. And you say she was responsible for 1 and 3. I can't do that with this finger. I fucked this finger up. Look at that finger, man.
Dude, you still ain't got that shit checked out, bro?
Yeah, no. Why? I got an ice pack in the refrigerator.
Damn it, Ralph. Hey, y'all, Ralph broke his goddamn finger and he's not going to the doctor.
Ralph, you need to go and get that fixed, Ralph.
Oh, my God. No, it's not, bruh. Oh, my
blown up
God.
disc glove on his hand.
Guarantee you they're going to have to... They're going to have to re-break that finger, Ralph.
That's
dead ass. Dead ass.
They're going to have to re-break that finger and set it right.
But they're going to have to put me to sleep. They ain't breaking my finger with me looking at them. I sucked the shit out of it with the other fist.
I'm telling you, and he going to go.
And you might need surgery because now the scar tissue and the ligaments and shit inside your hand, they might have to go in and do some shit now because you don't want to go and get it fixed.
Yep, and he gonna tell you he going on 3, but he gonna do this shit on 2. He like 1.
That was a good one, Kev.
I see how you did that, Kev.
You're like, 03. There's nothing worse.
That's a good one.
Okay,
nothing
we
worse.
back to the script. Okay.
There's nothing
I like
worse.
what you did there, Kev. Way to fight
You
back.
saw how you threw that in there. I know, yeah. I gotta go get it looked at, man. That's some bullshit. It's about a week ago tomorrow, so.
Or they might just, you know, put you in a splint, you know, tape you up, and you be good to go.
And that's what I've been doing. See, I've been doing that shit myself. I tape in, then with these two, I tape these two together, yada yada yada. And then throughout the day, I got an ice pack. I'll throw that on there.
But you may need a single. You may need a single splint because if you're taping your two fingers together, you're still healing the alignment of the bone in the improper way. I was pre-med for a semester in college.
Oh, thank you, Nurse Davis.
Doctor.
Yeah, I fucked that finger up, man. Reaching for the ball, playing hoop, reach for the ball. My finger from here to the knuckle went straight up. My finger was like this.
Yeah.
So I had to grab it and pop it back into place. I popped it back into place.
It could be a dislocation. It could be a
dislocated. That's what I'm saying. It's just swollen from the dislocation.
Metal splint. You might need a single metal splint and then tape. Yeah. You know what I mean? But go see a professional.
Ralph, they're going to say we going to go on 3.
And I'm going to sock the shit out of you.
1, 3.
I'm going to slap his going on because he didn't use the right glue.
Just because all that bullshit, I'm telling you, he's going on 2.
You got to do misdirection. Like when my kid had to get she had to get her shot, like her vaccinations, and she was just in there wild, and I was like, all right, look, we about to do this. So I pulled the nurse out and all and said, hey, I'm gonna slap my daughter in the face. And when I slap her, you hit her with that needle.
You hit her with that needle.
My daughter was just, I was like, pow! And she was like, she hit me in the face. I was like, yeah, but did you feel the needle go on your arm? She was like, no. I was like, you're welcome. She was like, but my face hurts.
Yeah, you win some, you lose some.
Gave you something else to think about.
But you live another day.
Right. Right.
And you know what happened after that? The next time she went to get her vaccination, we didn't have to.
She got that
she
shot.
didn't want to get the shit smacked out of her.
Like, yo, she slapped me one more time.
Now, some people might say that was bad parenting. I say
that was great parenting.
Your earring is...
grabbed the needle and stuck herself and said, fuck it.
All right, it's time for final thoughts.
Yeah, I'm one of them people. I gotta look. Oh, final thoughts.
Final thoughts on today's podcast. Lucius, what's your final thoughts with everything that we discussed today? And don't say shit about 1 and 3. Because we're going on 2, monkey ass. All I'm saying is the bitch is responsible for 1 and 3. That's all I'm telling y'all.
Everybody should check out Mike Tyson's Hot Boxing podcast. It's pretty insightful. I don't care what you think about the guy, but it's pretty insightful. And that's about all we talk about. Police brutality. We talked about that a million times on here and how we feel about it, our stance on it. But and continue to watch the Green Room. We ain't going nowhere. Right, Cam?
Actually, we got 2 episodes left, right?
3 more episodes.
Nigga, we finna get shut down again, nigga. We got the rest of the year.
Right.
What? We're not getting shut down again. I don't give a shit.
Nigga, we got 4 major holidays coming up. Saturday is finna be some shit.
Right.
Second week of November is finna motherfucking spike. And then we go right into Thanksgiving. Spike.
Black Friday.
Spike.
Christmas, Black Friday. Christmas, spike. New Year's, right after Christmas, a week.
Bet money they don't re-shut down.
Yeah, the rest of the world is shut down again.
Yeah,
how much you want to bet, Kev?
Bet money U.S. don't do it.
Well, the niggas and they own houses and shit.
Bet money the U.S. don't do it.
I put 20 on it.
Huh?
How much you want to bet?
Okay, I bet 10. I bet a 10. I
got 20.
10.
I got 20.
Nigga said 10.
I know. I thought he was gonna go high.
Hey! I don't bet over $10 with my friends, okay? Because if I lose more than that, you're not getting fucking paid. Sue me. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
I got you 10. I'll see that bet.
Yeah, it's not happening.
I see that.
Hey, well, time out.
Ain't no time out, nigga. You already open your mouth.
Shut your mouth. Who made you the rule regulator? Okay.
Well, hell, your ass ain't confident. You ain't confident in your bet.
No, you goddamn right. That's why I said time out.
This is the same nigga that bet against the Bears one weekend. This is his favorite team. He bet against them. Instead of being like, nah,
didn't I win?
They gonna suck. They gonna lose. Like, nigga, how's that your favorite team then? You just bet against them.
Didn't I win though? Okay.
You didn't win because you bet against them.
Point I'm trying to make is
they're gonna lose. I bet for them.
You know who your teams can and can't beat.
Ralph,
Do you know realistically who your team lines up well with?
But
we beat everybody. I don't care.
You know what the hell I'm saying. You know,
I know
what
you're saying, bro. But it's hard for me to do that, man. It's hard for me to do that. That's why I don't play fantasy football, because I'm not gonna be rooting for somebody else to beat my squad, man.
I knew good and goddamn well we wasn't gonna beat the Rams, but I had to pick them. I mean, anyway, point I'm trying to make is
you picked them.
I did pick the Bears,
and I picked the Rams.
Yes, you did. Good luck. Good. Yeah, you kicking ass.
But, by 3.
Yeah, by 3.
I'm just saying, nigga.
No, U.S. is not going to shut down again. I'll go ahead and kick off my final thought. I'll start right there. The U.S. is not going to shut down again. It's just not. It's uncharacteristic of our government to shut down because they are too concerned about the survival of the economy to ever really do this shit and do it right and do it effectively. Yes, the numbers are spiking. These shits are going to go up tremendously after these holidays. And guess what? They don't give a shit. They are more interested in pushing out a vaccine that may or may not work, and we'll never know what the goddamn side effects of the vaccine is because you're supposed to have a vaccine for 10 years, but hey. But no, they will not shut down. I also know
in the city of Louisville, they are starting to push back a little bit and starting to close shit down a little bit to where it's like, we got to go back into this shit.
Schools, what are y'all shutting down? Like y'all was one of the first.
They're pushing back on working from home again. Like people are going back to working from home. They're slowly pushing us back. And they're gonna trick us into fucking being shut down without us knowing we shut down.
Mm.
They're starting to, bars can't have this many people in it after a certain amount of hours. We're shutting down. They just ain't gonna say it because they don't want people to go out and buy all the toilet paper.
Right. That's what they're doing right now and where I live at in Marietta, California, man. A week ago, I was able to go into Buffalo Wild Wings, sit down at a table next to the bar. You can't necessarily sit at the bar, but they have tables pushed up to the bar so that you can sit at a table. This week, I was not able to do that. This past Sunday, I wasn't able to do that. We had to sit outside on the patio type thing that they have going on, and they only allow so many tables out there. So, yeah, they pushing back on all of that. That's, one of my final thoughts. And also, I know you said something about these numbers, homeboy, but I need you to realize that 2 come before that 3.
Hey.
And definitely after that 1. So stop tripping with that, fam. Come on. She responsible for 1 and 2.
Okay, Ralph, if I say, hey, I'm responsible, okay, if there's 5 parking spaces, right, Ralph? And I'm supposed to be the parking lot attendant. And I say, hey, I know there's 2 people coming. I'm making myself responsible for parking lot 1 and parking lot 3. That doesn't mean that I don't know that there's a fucking 2 there. That just means I'm responsible for 1 and 3. What the hell are we even talking about?
That's totally different, bro. That's totally different. She started off with 2 parts. They added that 3rd, made it the 2nd. That's what they did, dog. Come on, man. And Ty, back to you, Ty.
Final thoughts. First of all, Five Hearts is a classic, wonderfully made film. Number 3, The Matrix, the beautiful trilogy. Number 5, Vote. Because
you know what? I'm gonna wrap this shit up right here on that note.
We need education reform.
You wrapping shit up now.
You just gonna cut me off while I'm giving my final thoughts?
You went. I know what you did there.
Other point. This is my other point. We need to vote because if Donald Trump is reelected, I swear, if Donald Trump is reelected, I'm just gonna start greeting people with "Blessed be the fruit" and "May the Lord open." If you guys have watched Handmaid's Tale on Hulu, then you understand that reference.
I have not.
Vote. Man, listen. Vote. Because that shit is very possible if the things that keep happening in this world keep happening, women are going to be set back. That new fucking Supreme Court just nigga. So vote. And do it as soon as you can. I've already voted. My vote has been cast and counted.
Yeah,
and
we
I'm just waiting to see if we're gonna be blessed be the fruit.
Yeah, I took Tuesday
off.
Follow
me on Instagram.
Right.
Nick, you doing it on the day of?
Huh?
You doing it? You're voting on the day of? Like you doing it next week?
Man, I meant to do it Saturday, and I was sitting in here and I was hiding, motherfucker, and I was like, "There's something I gotta do. I gotta do something today." And I'm sitting there, and
check though, Lucius. Make sure that your early voting site is not different than your regular voting site, because some of the early voting locations are different than what your regular polling place is. And also because of voter suppression, they've closed down some of the voting sites where you would traditionally vote. So just make sure that wherever you go to vote is still active and open, and that's where you can go.
Right. Yeah, I've done all that. Like, I got to look it up when it happens. But yeah, for sure. I took the day off so I can go vote. That's how important it is.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, good people. Good to see all y'all, man.
Because Kev doesn't know how to use numbers.
At all.
You know what?
I'm glad we don't have to vote with numbers.
This has been another episode of The Green Room. I'm your host, Kevin.
312.
Love this show.
I know, nigga. That's an area code.
312. That is my area code. But make sure y'all tune in
straight box.
early. Make sure y'all tune in to Zooming with the Homies with Ty. Make sure y'all tune in to What It Do with Ralph Porter. Lucius, what the fuck do you got going on in life?
I was doing with the homies last night. I ain't doing it tonight.
It's not. That
was last night.
Don't worry about that. She will be back though. Hey, make sure y'all tune in.
Yeah, I'm a resident. I have a residency on Zoom.
Right. Exactly.
I got some shit I'm working on. I'll tell y'all when we off the air.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I'm plugging. Never mind. But make sure y'all tune in to everything.